scaled up testing at a local level, combined with contact tracing.
The story of a world-beating test and trace system. 12th of March. With the pandemic surging across the UK, Johnson abandons mass testing and contact tracing. The move leaves the UK blind to the spread of the virus. 30th of March. U-turning on the decision to abandon mass testing, the government awards a £133 million contract unopposed in a closed process to private healthcare company Randox to provide COVID-19 test kits. The company employs Conservative MP Owen Paterson as a £100,000 a year consultant. 1st of April. Just 2,000 out of 1.2 million NHS staff have been tested. Meanwhile, Germany is carrying out 50,000 tests a day. 2nd of April. The government claims it will reach 100,000 tests a day by the end of the month. 12th of April. Rather than join other countries in adopting an off-the-shelf Google Apple system for its test and trace app, the government announces it will go its own way and develop its own app. 15th of April. In the last month, 25,000 patients have been moved from hospitals into care homes without being tested for the virus, resulting in an explosion of COVID-19 cases among the elderly. 1st of May. The government artificially hits its target of 100,000 tests a day by double counting tests and including mailed out kits that haven't yet been returned. 7th of May. Conservative peer Baroness Dido Harding is appointed to lead the test and trace programme. She's best known for her disastrous handling of the data breach of 4 million customers at TalkTalk and is the wife of a Conservative MP. 20th of May.
We will have a test, track and trace operation that will be world-beating, and yes, it will be in place. It will be in place by June the 1st.
23rd of May. Outsourcing company Serco is awarded a £108 million test and trace contract that was not put out to open tender. 28th of May. Plagued by technical glitches, the test and trace system is officially launched across England. With staff unable to log in, outsourcing company Citel declares a critical incident, while officials say the system will not be fully operational for months. The launch of the app, meanwhile, is delayed by several weeks.
You said the app was absolutely essential to this track and trace. The app is still not ready until next week, at the earliest, maybe after that, and yet you've brought this forward. I suppose many of my viewers will think it's not a laughing matter.
4th of June. A leaked email from the chief executive of Serco reveals how he doubted the scheme would evolve smoothly, but said he wanted it to cement the position of the private sector in the NHS supply chain. 17th of June. Almost 3 weeks since the launch of the test and trace programme, some contact tracers have failed to reach a single person. The government now says the app will not be ready until winter. 18th of June. Beset by failures, the government abandons its multi-million-pound app in favour of the Google Apple model they were previously urged to adopt. Months have been wasted. 15th of July. At Prime Minister's Question Time, Johnson tells Parliament,
And I can certainly give the House the assurance that our test and trace system is as good as or better than any other system anywhere in the world. And yes, it will play a vital part in ensuring that we do not have a second spike this winter.
8th of August. 750,000 test kits sent to care homes and individuals are recalled by Tory-linked health firm Randox after they're found to be substandard and potentially contaminated. 23rd of August. Serco receives a contract extension worth up to £410 million. 27th of August. The test and trace programme fails to reach its tracing targets for the 9th week in a row. 14th of September. It's revealed that doctors are being told to drive 500-mile round trips to get tested. Other medical staff are being forced into self-isolation away from their crucial frontline work due to a shortage of tests and delays to test results. Medical professionals describe the situation as an utter shambles. 18th of September. In local testing centres around the UK, there are reports of hundreds of people queuing for hours only to be turned away by staff without a test. Elsewhere, test centres remain empty or unstaffed. Test and Trace Chief Dido Harding says,
I don't think anybody was expecting to see the really sizable increase in demand that we've seen over the course of the last few weeks.
In reality, scores of experts predicted exactly that. 24th of September. The Test and Trace app is finally launched in England and Wales. On the same day, government figures show that just 1 in 10 COVID-19 tests have been processed within 24 hours. 27th of September. It's revealed that the app's software contains an extraordinary failure that prevents tens of thousands of people from inputting their test results, meaning their contacts cannot be traced. 29th of September. People experiencing symptoms are being told to drive hundreds of miles to get a test. One pensioner in Bournemouth is told his nearest drive-through test centre is in Perth, Scotland, a 1,000-mile round trip. 4th of October. The Johnson government admits that it missed logging up to 16,000 people who had tested positive for COVID-19 following an error inputting data into an Excel spreadsheet. One study shows the mistake may have led to up to 1,500 preventable deaths. 9th of October. 2 weeks after the launch of the Test and Trace app, despite millions of downloads and over 1 million check-ins, it's revealed that the app has sent just one alert about an outbreak in a venue. The app is updated after users report phantom alerts wrongly telling them they may have been exposed to COVID-19. 15th of October. It's revealed that private sector consultants are being paid up to £7,000 a day to work on Test and Trace, the equivalent of an annual salary of around £1.5 million. Serco shares soar as the company secures more business from the Johnson government. 17th of October. A so-called fat finger error results in up to 4 million users of the Test and Trace app being incorrectly told that the risk level in their area has changed. 22nd of October. At this point, the programme is failing to reach over 40% of contacts, meaning over 100,000 potentially infected people a week are not getting reached. Just 1 in 7 people are getting test results within 24 hours, despite Johnson promising 100% by the end of June. The Prime Minister takes the opportunity to remind people that they'll get a £500 government grant for self-isolating. 23rd of October. It emerges people cannot in fact get a £500 grant for self-isolating because the button was accidentally left off the Test and Trace app, prompting fears that many low-paid workers are being forced to choose between health and hardship. 30th of October. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says,
no one can say if you go into a national lockdown at what point you get out of it. It's better to take a targeted approach than have the blunt tool of nationwide restrictions at the very highest possible level.
31st of October. The government announces a national lockdown in England. 1st of November. It's revealed that the world-beating Test and Trace app, downloaded by 19 million people, has systematically failed to alert the public to isolate after being exposed to the virus. The app was set at the wrong sensitivity level from the start. 25th of November. It's revealed that an acquaintance and former neighbour of Health Secretary Matt Hancock is supplying the government with tens of millions of vials for NHS COVID-19 tests, despite having had no previous experience of producing medical supplies. Alex Bourne says he initially offered his services to Hancock by sending him a personal WhatsApp message. The deal is worth more than £30 million. 2nd of December. The English lockdown ends, but the country is still without an effective test and trace system, despite Johnson spending a staggering £22 billion of public money on his failed programme. 17th of December. A New York Times investigation into UK government spending on COVID concludes there is ample evidence of cronyism. The investigation finds that half the taxpayers' money they analysed went to companies either run by friends and associates of politicians in the Conservative Party or with no prior experience or a history of controversy. Meanwhile, smaller firms without political clout got nowhere. As the UK prepares for Christmas and a likely third wave, it's clear that government incompetence has cost many lives. Meanwhile, some friends of the Johnson government have, on the back of coronavirus, become very wealthy indeed.